Good morning, students. In our previous class, we have started about discussing polynomials, where we have stated that any algebraic expression with two or more unlike terms is a polynomial, which also means that a monomial, a binomial, a trinomial, or a multinomial is also a polynomial. Also, we have studied that when an algebraic expression is made up of only one variable, we called it a polynomial in one variable, and when we find out the highest exponent of the polynomial in one variable, the highest power is called the degree of the polynomial in one variable. So in today's class, we will be discussing polynomial having multiple variables. Now, if you see in our previous class when we were discussing, have a look. 1 plus 2x plus 9y plus 3z. This is a polynomial having 4 terms and we have 4 different variables like x, y and z. So this is not a polynomial in one variable, but this is a polynomial having more than one variable. So whenever we have a polynomial which is made up of two and more variables, the degree of the polynomial is a bit different as we have studied for the case of when the polynomial is made up of only one variable. So let us have a look to our example. Suppose we have 3x plus xy square minus 8yz. So in this case, we see that this is a polynomial made up of 3 variables, and what are they? They are x, y and z. So in our previous class when we were studying about the degree of the polynomial made up of only one variable, we used to find out the highest exponent of a particular term. Now in this case we will also be finding out the exponent of each term, but when we see that there are multiple variables in each term, so we will add the power of each variable. Now how we are going to do that? So first we have stated that it is a polynomial made up of 3 variables x, y, z. Now sum of powers of, either you can write of the term or variable as you can are comfortable with, the sum of the power of the term. Which term? First term, that is 3x. So this is made up of only one variable, so the power will be 1, since there is only one variable and it has power 1. So next we will find the power of the next term, but in this case remember we will write it as sum. We will not write the exponent of the term, but we will write sum of the power, because we are finding out the sum of the powers since it is made up of more than one kind of variable. So the next is sum of powers of the variable. What is the next variable? X, y square. So we can see that x is having power as 1 and y is having power as 2. So we will add those two powers and we will write 3. That means we will be adding up the powers. Next, sum of eight y z. So 8 is y is having power as 1 and z is having power of 1. So we will write, only we will be adding up the power of the variables. the variables of the term. So now we have added up all the powers of the terms, and then we will find out which term or which variable is having the highest power, and we see that it is having 3 as the highest power. So the greatest of these sum is the degree of the polynomial. So we will write therefore degree of the polynomial is 3. Clear, children? Now suppose you are being given to solve a question like 5y cube minus 3y square x plus 8 x square y square minus 3 x to the power 5. Suppose you are asked to solve this given question. So what we are going to write? First we are going to write what are the variables that the polynomial is made up of. So we will write the polynomial is made up of two variables x and y, because we have x and y only. Next we will find out the sum of powers of the variable. So sum of powers of the variable. What is the first variable? 5y cube. So what is the power? 3. Next, the next term, sum of powers of the variable 3y square x. So this will be 3y square x. So y is having power of 2 and x is having power of 1. So this is 3 again. Next, sum of powers of the variable 8 x square y square. So x is having power of 2, y is also having power of 2, so that will be equal to 4. Next, sum of powers of the variable 3x to the power 5. So this is 5. So after we have found out the sum of the powers of each variable, now next we will compare which is greatest. We see that the greatest is 5. So we will write degree of polynomial is 5. The greatest, the sum having the greatest value will be the degree of the polynomial. So based on these, your homework will be exercise 18b, question number 10, 6, 8x square y minus 3y square plus x to the power 2y to the power 5. Question number 7, 8z cube minus 8y square z cube plus 7y z to the power 5. And question number 8, 4y square minus 3x cube plus y square x to the power 7. So these will be your homework.